Good morning, everybody. I'm Tristan. Welcome to my channel. Does God exist? 7. And Lord, He does. Amen. I hope you're all blessed. I want to do a video today off the back of a dream that I had not last night, the night before. Yeah, I want to tell you about the dream first. Normally I have dreams and they're quite vague. They're normally of stuff that or people I've met in the past. I used to have some quite strange dreams before I was Christian, but recently, over the last few years, they've always been quite normal sort of thing. And I've always sort of, well, not always, but recently, since I've become a Christian in the last 4.5 years, I've always sort of prayed that, like, Lord, come on, give me visions, give me dreams, guide me, show me, what you want me to do, lead me and show me things in my dreams and visions. And I never really have that many, maybe the odd one here and there. And then the one I had a night before last was the first really sort of strange dream I've had in a long time. Actually, thinking back, I have had some strange dreams way back, but I feel like I haven't had any for a long time. Especially off the back of feeling very, very deflated recently, very, very demotivated, quite lazy. And so I'll get into the dream. So the dream was quite short, but it was a dream where I um I was actually in my flat here. And I didn't even really realise that until I woke up the next morning and walked around and went, oh my God, that dream I had last night was here, wasn't it? And it was quite short, like I said, but it was like in the dream, I was going into my cupboard to get like a weapon. Um, and like as I'm getting the weapon, there was somebody else, at least one other person, maybe even two other people in my flat, which is strange because I live alone. I don't really have people around that often, so it is quite strange to have anybody in my flat, especially in a dream. And then I was getting a weapon, and I got like a stick, and I was like talking to the other person, going, "How do you think this is good enough?" And they're like, "Well, why?" And I goes, "Well, because they're outside." And as I sort of said that, I'd looked outside, and I looked out one of my windows, which is over there, and out in the grass area out the front, I could see this sort of like demonic slash zombies like creature sort of wailing, over to almost coming to the front door. And I think I remember trying to go back into the cupboard again, and I was trying to give everybody like a weapon so that we could protect ourselves. And I think I remember in the dream as well, somebody was like, "They're coming." I goes, "Yeah, there's one outside. There's one outside now." Um, and it was almost like they were like, "Well, what do we do? Do we stay in there?" And I'm like, "No, no, we go outside and we get it before it tries to come in here and before more come." Um, and there we go. That was it. It was a bit of a weird dream. And like the zombie looking creature was it wasn't very detailed or realistic. It was almost just like a saturated color human being who was struggling to walk and couldn't make any defined features, but it was definitely a zombie. That's the feeling I got from the dream. And when I woke up, I was a bit like, whoa, that was a bit of a weird dream. Got up in the morning, went and had a wee, and my dream was starting to come back to me. And then I was like, oh yeah, that dream I had last night was strange. Yeah, it was here. And those sort of dreams always sort of push a button for me, especially when they're within your physical environment of where you are when you had that dream. Because it makes me think that maybe it's a spiritual thing, it's in another realm, maybe it could be I don't want to say prophetic dream, but it could be something that's just happened in a spiritual, what is happening in reality in a sense. And another reason why this was quite important was because I'd recently got rid of a few things from my house. I caught a couple of videos of people telling you to get rid of stuff out of your house, and I've had that process when I first come to become a Christian. I came out of the back of being deeply into New Age stuff, almost every weird and wonderful thing there is. including I was a bit of a novice magician. So when I got into magic, it sent me through lots of different realms, got into lots of weird and wonderful things, and shamanism, uh, all sorts of kind of spirituality stuff, meditation, all the basic stuff, but almost some very, very deep stuff as well, which a lot of people may or may not have got into who are into New Age. And yes, so and I started trying to get rid of a few. I sort of thought, oh, I wonder if I've got any, because I've been feeling a bit down. I was like, I wonder if I've got any weird little items that still haven't got rid of. So I had a little bit of a nosy around, and I found a packet of playing cards, which were they were called Angel cards. But it was, I don't know if you remember back in the day, there was Angel was like a spin off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it was these cards were Angel cards off that guy. And they were in the packet of cards. And I used to have another. I had two, but I gave one away because one of them was proper. It was just every card was a different demon. Whereas in this pack, most of them were humans, but then there was the odd demon in there as well. So I got rid of those cards. And another one I heard of this chap said, I think it was Mr. Buzz Man Cave, who said it. He goes, the 8 ball symbol is actually quite a bad thing. It's all to do with like luck and stuff like that. And I had that thought once before, and that's why I had it from back in my magician days. You know, these little symbols like skulls, stuff like I got into stuff like that. And I had one black small little 8 ball, which I kind of liked. You know, it was like kind of like a cool thing. So I got rid of that literally that day of the evening where I had that dream. And yesterday, so this is after the matter, but I'd already had it planned. And I do wonder sometimes when the demonic realm knows that you're about to do something, they kind of come onto you a bit harder. But I sold a couple of magic books yesterday to a second-hand bookstore, and yeah, arguably some people should say, look, you should burn these things. But one, I'm very, very skin at the moment. The £5 I got for 4 different books. No, they weren't all magic books. I think at least 2 or 3 of them were. They weren't. It's not like black magic or anything like that. It's cards. It's like sleight of hand stuff. So it's not really. And I also think of it in the realm of the line of like if I hadn't have ever got into magic in the first place, I don't think I would have come to faith because I wouldn't have gone down that road of realizing that there's a spiritual world to then realizing, oh, the devil is real. And then when you realize the devil is real, you realize, well, I don't want to be fighting against the devil. I want to be on God's side, on the good side. And then you start going, oh, I wonder if God's real. And then that's when you get your revelation. So yeah, I have burnt a book once before as well because it was clearly demonic. I bought it from an old second-hand bookshop and it was called The Devil's Dictionary. And it was basically a book, like a dictionary book, and it had like a pessimistic viewpoint on each word. There was words, it was like a dictionary, had different words, and not every word in the dictionary, but certain words. And like it would almost be like a pessimistic view of said word. And I burnt that one day because it was called the Devil's Dictionary, had a picture of the devil on it. When I came to faith, that was something I was like, oh, I wonder if this thing's been holding me back, and burnt it. That was like 4.5 years, maybe nearly 5 years ago, when I actually got about 4 years ago, probably burnt it shortly after I came to faith. Right, okay, so I want to go into it, some items that are clearly demonic. Like I said, when I came to my faith, I had so many things around my house. I spent weeks clearing out my old house trying to find all these weird and wonderful things that I'd accumulated, and some things I held on to a bit longer. I probably should have got rid of that 8 ball. But they tend to hide as well. I'll say that is they're hiding between things. You might, if you were in the worlds that I was, you might have like a card that's like a bookmark in something hiding, and that could be the thing that's holding you back, sort of thing. Right, okay, so I want to go into some of these items for you. So, Ouija boards. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. They are an open portal to speak to demonic spirits. So if you've got one of them, just burn it. Take it outside. burn it. Don't burn it in your house. Or yeah, I wouldn't even. But if you had an open fire, I wouldn't even burn it inside your house. Take that outside, burn it. Another item, and you get a lot of witchcraft's very, very popular nowadays, especially with women. Crystals, and I had some of these back in the day. What did I have? I can't remember, but I had one crystal. I think I had it on a necklace, and I thought that it would bring me good luck or something like that. And a lot of the witchcraft have different crystals. It's demonic. Get rid of crystals. If you're a Christian, get rid of your crystals. Tarot cards, yes. Tarot cards, yeah, that's people letting a demon influence them, and they're putting a spell on the person that they're reading those tarot cards to. You know, I think if I really wanted to, I could probably do a whole video on tarot cards if I writ out a script, as it were. Dream catchers, dream catchers. No disrespect to anybody who's, you know, of native Indians or something like that. They brought them in, but yeah, they're not good. A lot of people keep them above their bed. Oh no, get rid of your dream catchers. This one's a really, really big one, and that's a lot of new age people. And I've seen even Christians doing this, but I think when I came to faith, I quite quickly learned this one is sage, and maybe even some sort of incense sticks. Do not be burning sage. Some people seem to think that that wards off evil spirits. No, it does the exact opposite. It invites evil spirits into your home. Get rid of any sage. Do not burn it. Just throw it away. Get rid of it. Any religious items like statues of the Buddha, statues of any sort of Hindu god. There is only one God. He is a jealous God. He says, don't make any graven images of gods standing before me. If anybody knows the scripture, put it down. Not that great the scripture, but it's in my head. Don't get rid of them. What's the other one? The evil eye. The evil eye symbol. So if you've got any jewellery or anything like that, that is terrible. It can be on things. Just keep an eye out for anything that's got the evil eye on, and get rid of that. Clothing, sometimes clothing will have these sort of symbols on. Check your clothing for weird little demonic symbols, evil eyes, demons themselves, satanic words. Okay, books. So I got rid of some magic books, books on the occult, any evil books, witchcraft books, satanic rituals, anything like that. Just have a little look at your book collection. If something's standing out to you, there's probably a reason why. Especially if you've got like old books, you think that book had gone through so many different hands, and there could be some unclean spirit attached to that book, and it's just like an open portal bringing that thing into your life. That just makes me think of this thing as well. I did want to bring this up. I don't know if you've seen Rick and Morty. I wouldn't really advise watching it either, because it is a bit antichrist. There's a lot of sort of hidden meaning in a lot of those programs. I'm sure that the people who write it are probably into something weird like Freemasonry or something like that. But there's an episode in Rick and Morty where somebody's selling what's he? Somebody's there's a devil who's got a shop, and he's not doesn't pretend to be the devil, but he's selling items to people. And I think Morty works for him or something like that. And that he finds out that all these items this guy's been selling to people have all got like a demonic attachment to them. And Rick thinks this is stupid, and that there's no such thing as that, and that if people are worried about these items now having a demonic attachment to them, then bring them to him, and he'll take away that demonic attachment. In lightheartedness, that's so true. And a lot of people, even Christians, especially Catholics, they don't want to believe these things, but they are real. You definitely get a feeling when you or a dream, or you'll get a feeling when you get rid of these things. It's like a burden off your shoulders. Um, some new age stuff, anything like masks, of sort of tribes. Be very careful about them. Um, so movies, I think when I came to faith, I got rid of so many DVDs. Any movies with pornography in them, any movies with demons, horror films, any really sort of scary films that have got literal demons in them. You need to get rid of them. You've got to protect your eye gates. I've been tricked before buying a DVD. When I came to faith, I bought this DVD. So I've been getting rid of all my horrible DVDs, and I've been trying to buy some new films to watch. Go to charity shops and buy some nice cheap DVDs. Give me something to watch. I bought a movie and it was called God's Country or God's Own Country, one of them. And I thought, oh, that might be quite good. To see what that was, and it was basically like there's some gay porn in it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'd never expected that. And you're like, right, and so you got to be careful how sometimes the devil will try and trick you. And I believe I just want to go loosely into this as well. Is I'm heterosexual male, by the way, and but I believe that within certain parts of pornography, it can take you down those realms of trans and bisexual, those sort of things, because it's got into your mind, and that's why we shouldn't really be watching pornography at all. But I put my hand up. I struggle with that sort of thing a lot. So if that's you as well, you're not alone. Um, some music, demonic music. You want to go through your playlists, find out if there's something which actually really could be quite demonic. Some of these songs, if you play them in backwards, it will sound like the gates of hell, or actually be lyrics in them when you play it backwards that are like saying like demonic stuff. Two genres which definitely I would be very, very cautious of listening to is one, hard rock, rock and roll. I'm sure there are certain exceptions to the rule, but the same with like rap and hip hop. If you really want some proof of this, you can find some testimonies of rappers who were becoming into fame, and then they realised that it was basically the devil was giving them these lyrics to pollute the minds of the next generation, stuff like that. And then like one I earlier mentioned is the eight ball. That was one what slipped past me. So the eight ball has got a bit of a demonic symbolism to it. It's something to do. I think the Americans use it for sort of luck or something like that. As an element of gamble, but yeah, it's funny how you can get a bit sort of more strict with these things when you think to myself, I've just had like an eight ball sat in my drawer for no reason whatsoever, and now I've put it in the bin. I end up blinking it in a weird dream, and I actually feel a lot lighter for getting rid of it. What was the point of having it in the first place? So I want to. This is another one which I've kind of recently come to my attention, and I'm a bit dubious of it. So, but there are some aspects which I totally agree. But it's one of those ones which is really hard for people to do. So it's things like photos on your phone, because we've got these as memories. Sometimes you don't want to get them. Some of them clearly, if it's like an old demonic picture where you used to have from your get rid of it. But when it's things like maybe a relative who's passed, or an old partner or something like that, and you kind of like want to remember those things. But I definitely think you have to have a clean up of certain things like that. I do think if potentially that, you know, it is somebody who, and like I've got photos of my mum, and I don't think I could get rid of them. Or maybe if I got rid of one or two or something like that, I could, but I need to have a photo of them because I wouldn't want to get to my latter years and not be able to remember my mum's face and not have anything to look back at. But it's definitely something food for thought, and I definitely think you can clean up your gallery of old photos of maybe old memories of your old life if you had a bit of a weird life like I did, and you know, you can put these things somewhere if you really want to on Facebook and go and find them another time. But I think having them directly on your phone to be able to just every go in, so you go to your gallery, you're making it easy for yourself to stumble across these things which maybe don't have a positive effect. Um, and even little things like, I think sometimes you have to have like a bit of a Facebook call. You have to go through your emails, delete old emails. Just be careful. But I find these things make you feel lighter. It's less worries. It's like even when you know, most people know when you have a good declutter of your house, it makes you feel better. But I think if you run out of things to do in your house to clean up, I think sometimes you can clean up your computer, you can clean up your phone, you can clean up your tablet, and it makes things feel a bit lighter. But just be careful. Don't delete anything you might regret. If you're unsure, leave it there for a while until you're certain that maybe it is time to get rid of it. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. If you like this video and you stuck to the end, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe as well. I haven't got many subscribers, so I'd really like to get a few more. All that good stuff, you know, share, comment, whatever you want to do. All right, guys, have a nice Sunday. Thanks very much. Bye bye.